All right, well, we're at 8:03, so I think we'll get started. We've got a great team from SmartIS with us again today to talk about transforming your business with Microsoft 365. And this is part 2 of our 4-part series, and we're glad that SmartIS is helping us out with this. This is an excellent topic, and I am Rob Clayman with the Oshkosh Chamber. I want to welcome everybody. And thanks again to SmartIS. And I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin McWilliams with SmartIS. Caitlin is a former employee of the Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce and Amplify Oshkosh coordinator, and still is very active and involved with Amplify and all the things we're doing. So we really appreciate that as well. And so Caitlin, I know you've got some introductions and going to tee this up, and I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our second session within our Transform Your Business with the Microsoft 365 suite. My name is Caitlin McWilliams, and I'm a marketing specialist here at SmartIS, and I'll be helping to facilitate the event today. So before we get started, I'd just like to go over a few points of general information. If anyone needs anything, you can feel free to contact us via the chat tab, and we'll also be answering some questions at the end of the presentation. So if you do have a question that you would like to submit, you can do that via the questions tab. I'd like to touch on the 4-part Zoom series now. So the first session was last week, Wednesday, May 5th, and it included an overview of Microsoft's enterprise collaboration tools. So if you missed this first session, it is available on the Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce website for your viewing. Like I said, this is a 4-part series, which will explore the collaborative and productivity tools of the Microsoft 365. And these sessions will review Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, the Power Platform, and how each of these tools can be leveraged to overcome common challenges that a business encounters. So today, being our second session, the session highlights will include current challenges related to collaboration and productivity, utilizing Microsoft Teams as a solution. We'll be providing demos and best practices, as well as information pertaining how to get started. Now I'd like to briefly introduce who we are. So we have been a consulting firm within the area since the mid-90s, founded in Naperville, Illinois in 1988. But moved to the Oshkosh area primarily due to a majority of our customer base at the time being within the Fox Valley area. We have a footprint with national and international organizations as well as local businesses, and we operate out of 3 locations. We are headquartered in Oshkosh. We have a center of excellence in Pakistan as well as a sales office in Germany. And we are a project-driven and project-based technology firm with a focus on management consulting, technology consulting, and managed services. And our managed services aspect allows us to provide customers continuous support with the work that we have developed. So in terms of technology, we are a Microsoft Gold certified partner, but beyond that, we do practice within Oracle, PeopleSoft, and Blue Yonder, as well as custom development capabilities focusing on PHP, .NET, and e-commerce platforms. We also have capabilities within custom mobile development within the iOS and Android applications as well. So now I would like to introduce today's speakers. Hamid is the practice manager within the Oshkosh office, and Harris is our consulting director joining us from Pakistan. Both Hamid and Harris have been with us for many years and are both very capable Microsoft technicians. So with that, I will hand it over to Hamid. And once again, feel free to drop any questions throughout the presentation within that Q&A feature.
Good morning, everyone. This is Hamid. So let's get started with the session by first recapping what we covered in last week. The general trend we found was that we are doing more with less. And technology is the catalyst for achieving non-linear or exponential growth. We need to leverage technology to promote collaboration, enhance teamwork, improve communication, increase efficiency and productivity, and also to automate inefficient and manual processes, and also utilize workflows and AI in making decisions. So before we go further, first let's define what collaboration is and what does it mean in the content of business. So according to Association for Intelligent Information Management, collaboration is a working practice whereby individuals work together for a common purpose to achieve business benefit. Collaborate as a team, according to Microsoft, means having as little friction as possible. You want to seamlessly build ideas, organize files, attend meetings, and collaborate with others. There's another term called modern way of working. So what is that? According to Microsoft, it is having the peace of mind that you have the tools to help you adapt from wherever you are. Whether you are using a laptop or your mobile device, you can easily attend meetings online, share office files, co-author in real time, and be productive from anywhere. So with these definitions in mind, let's review some trends. According to a study done by Harvard Business Review in 2016, the amount of time employees spend engaged in collaborative work, that is meetings, phone calls, and answering emails, has increased by about 50%. Perhaps even more significantly, this kind of work now takes up 80% or more of employees' time. So from this finding, in one aspect, it is good that collaboration has improved. However, they also found that 20 to 35% of value-added collaboration comes from only 3 to 5% of employees. So what this means is that the organizations need to manage collaboration more effectively by redistributing the work more evenly among employees and incentivizing people to collaborate more efficiently. Then there was also another research done by Ernst & Young that noted that a work environment that does not encourage teamwork is one of the top 5 reasons for people to quit their jobs. Here's some information to note about today's workforce. So today's workforce has 4 times more devices per user than we had a few years ago. 45% use social tools at work. And we have 5 generations in the workforce today. We are in twice as many teams compared to a few years ago. And as we noted earlier in the previous slide, 80% of employees' time is spent in collaborating. So what does this all tells us? It tells us that today's workforce is more mobile, social, and global. Our workforce is also from diverse backgrounds in technology and also have different expectations about communication and collaboration. And organizations are investing in new work styles to build a cohesive, collaborative platform. Tools and processes are needed to empower employees, enable them to engage better with customers, and optimize operations. Next, let's take a look at the challenges of an individual in the workplace today. So employees spend 61% of their time on routine tasks, and 20% of a CEO's working time could also be automated. There's also the challenge we all face of so many different tools and apps that we have to use to get our work done. So these tools are powerful and critical, but the constant switching between tasks and context reduces our productivity. Interruptions or even just having to switch between applications waste time and create distractions. So it was noted that in one of the studies that it takes 23 minutes to regain productivity after an interruption. And it takes workers switch tasks on average of every 3 minutes. So now, for a second, imagine a workplace without any boundaries. You have real-time collaboration on documents. You have the ability to work from anywhere on any device, all files for projects in one place. And you also are able to have online meetings at the click of a button, and everything, it's in simple device management, and which has a security built in. So now the question becomes, how do you help your business grow and adjust to the new ways that teams work? So what if you can have a single solution that lets your employees work anywhere on any device, and that includes emails, calendars, file storage, as well as a hub for teamwork? So with Microsoft 365, which most of you already have, and the services that we'll be talking about, most of them you already have, but the question will come, to what extent are you using it? So Microsoft 365 with Teams, you get all the familiar productivity apps your employees use every day, like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, in addition to collaboration platform that connects your people to the communication channels. So the solution is, of course, Microsoft Teams. And Microsoft mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And they are working on communicating and collaborating in one place with Microsoft Teams. That's what they are aiming for. And they want to give members a platform to collaborate from anywhere on any device, anytime. So what is Microsoft Teams? Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork, which brings together everything a team needs. Chat and threaded conversations, meetings and video conferencing, PSTN calling. It also has content collaboration with power of Office 365 applications, and the ability to create and integrate Microsoft apps or even third-party apps and workflows that your business relies on. So what does this mean for your business? It means that Teams can help you transform workplace collaboration. It will streamline business processes. It will connect everyone on a single platform. And then, of course, it will provide you enterprise-grade security and compliance. You also have, the other added feature is, you also can have business voice. So with business voice, you get other features. You get basically a phone number that you can dial in for your meetings, and for call forwarding and all the features that come with it. So with that, I would now give it to Haris to give us a demo of what we're talking about. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the best practices and how to get started.
Hi, so my name is Haris. I am consulting director at SmartIS, and my job is to make sure that we work with our partners and customers to ensure delivery in the Microsoft practice. So we're going to do a quick demo on Microsoft Teams and show you how it's built, what are the different features that it has, along with going into some of the integration aspects, and then we'll hand it back over to Hamid. So before we get into Microsoft Teams, we need to understand a fundamental for Office 365, which is the Office 365 groups. Office 365 groups is what powers Microsoft Teams and other Office 365 apps and tools. Office 365 group is essentially a unit that Microsoft has created that combines all of these Office 365 resources to work together. So when you create an Office 365 group, it creates resources in Microsoft Teams for that group. It creates a separate SharePoint site for content collaboration. It creates a OneNote book for any note-taking for that group. Along with that, it also creates a stream site, which is a video collaboration tool that Microsoft provides, so you can share your videos with other individuals and employees in your organization. It also creates resources in Planner, which is the task assignment and project status update tool, along with Power BI, which is a reporting and a visualization tool provided from Microsoft. So all of these things are automatically provisioned when you create an Office 365 group. Within Office 365 group, you have 3 types of user roles, if you would. There are the owners who can add and manage the group itself and create other members. They're the members themselves. These are the people who are going to be actually working within the group and collaborate. And then you have guests. So guests are external users who are not part of your organization. And these are the users that, for example, your partners or vendors or customers that you want to engage with in a particular project. So Microsoft allows you to add external individuals to your teams as well. Generally, Office 365 groups can be created for any department, product, or project, along with any other type of team activity that you have going on within your organization. So you have the ability to just create a group for any type of team-related task that you have. Microsoft Teams also allows you, when you create an Office 365 group, it automatically provisions a team for you. So for example, this on your screen, if you see Smart IS demo, is a Office 365 group that was also created in Teams. So it shows up here. And within that, you have different channels. Channels are subgroups, if you will, that allow you to collaborate on different topics within that bigger group. So for example, if you have a product launch going on, you can create a channel that just talks about that product launch, and you don't have to fill the timeline of the other channels that don't need to have that type of conversation going. Microsoft also enables private channels in here. So within a Microsoft team, you can create a channel that would enable a subset of the users to have conversation without exposing that conversation to the larger group. So for example, if you have a product launch, but you need to discuss internal price and you don't want other users in that group to be involved, you can create a confidential private group. So that functionality is also built in. Just to walk you through some of the key features that you'd see in Teams. Everything when you log into Teams is conversational. So the idea is that you're talking to your teammates and you're talking to other organizational units within Teams and getting everything that you need in a single place. Think of this as a hub, like Hamid said, for everything that you do within your organization. And this is where all of your productivity sort of starts. So the first thing in that is how you converse. So you have the ability to reply to various comments and discussions, but you can also start a new conversation. You can start with a simple one-liner, or you have the ability to create rich text. So if you click on this icon, everything comes up with rich text, and you can add a subject and essentially do any type of formatting that you like. The other ability that you get is you can set up how you want to moderate this content. You can set anybody in this group can reply, or you can say only team yourself and the moderator can reply. You can also change this post to an announcement. So if you switch it to an announcement, this becomes more of an information for anybody coming to a group. For example, you want to announce a holiday theme for your company, you can announce it in a group. Or if you have a product launch, you can announce that here with all of the details, and then the sub conversations can happen in the replies. Microsoft Teams also allow you to post the same thread in multiple channels. So if you want to post it in different teams and different channels, you just click on this button and it would automatically let you select different channels. If you want to highlight your message and make sure that everybody who comes to this page reads it, you can click on this icon for urgency and it would mark it important. So now anybody in your team would get notified multiple times to let them know that there is a message that they haven't read. Along with that, you also get the ability to meet with your team right from here. So you don't have to leave anywhere to meet with your team. You can just click on this meet button and you would automatically be connected to all of your team members in an audio and video conference. If you don't want to meet now, you have the ability to schedule a meeting as well. So if you click on schedule a meeting, this would take us to a scheduling screen where we can add all the people. This would be local to the channel that I'm doing. So I can say this is for this channel and only the people in this channel are allowed to participate. Now I can also go to a scheduling assistant, which enables me to add all of the required attendees, and it would automatically email all of them with the best time that they're available. So because everything is in cloud and Exchange, which is the mail server behind Office 365 that powers all of this, knows the availability for all of the attendees, it's going to automatically suggest times that work for everybody. So this is the conversational aspect of it. Now, with the conversation, you also have the ability to work on files. So any file that's uploaded by clicking on attachments here would show up in your files tab. So you don't have to look for various posts and figure out where I attach an item. If an item in this channel has been shared, it will always show up in the files tab. And then you can look at all of the files that have been shared with you and see, look for the one that you want. Because this is powered by SharePoint, you can also open this document library directly by clicking in open in SharePoint like up here. You can also add files directly through here if you don't want to post them on the conversational side. When you click on app, especially an Office app, it would open within Teams. So again, you're not switching your context, and that app opens directly within the context of Teams. And once you're done, you can close this by hitting the back button. Now, moving on to the integration aspect of it. There are a few different types of integrations that Microsoft Teams allows you to have. There are the tabs. These are the things on the top of your channel, which are full apps that are embedded in Teams. So they could be apps like Microsoft 365 notebooks or SharePoint sites, or just a website, or any other app by a third party that would be embedded directly here, like Power BI. Then there are webhooks and connectors. Those are event-based connectors, so they allow you to configure a connector that would automatically post to your channel. For example, Microsoft has a tool called Azure Boards that is an issue management system, and this particular channel has been configured to automatically post from Azure Boards anytime a issue or work item has been updated. So anytime somebody modifies it, it automatically would send a post here letting everybody in the group know that this has been modified. So this engages the end users as well, because now they know what's happening and who's doing what, and it enhances the productivity. Then the third type of integration that Microsoft Teams allows you is called messaging extension. These are the types of extension that would automatically read the context of your message and add a card based on that. For example, if I were to add a URL to a conversation, it would automatically recognize that it's a link and it's going to insert a card in here. Now, if this was some other app, this could also bring in sales data or your customer related data based on the context. And the last type of integration that we have available is called bots, which basically allows you to talk to bots in a conversational manner. A bot is any Microsoft or third-party app that allows you to talk to it using the Teams, Microsoft Teams. And you can complete tasks using bots as well. So let's quickly go over some of the things that we have set up here, just to walk you through what types of integrations that we can set up. Microsoft provides a built-in app called Wiki, and this is a great tool to add documentation right in your Teams infrastructure. So you don't have to leave the channel, you don't have to go anywhere. All of your text and images would show up automatically here. And you can modify your documentation directly from here as well. You don't have to go to a different place. So this is very powerful when you're working with multiple people and you need to make sure that the documentation stays up to date and you don't have the latest version of document being shared on email, because you can quickly lose track of who has the latest version, right? Then Microsoft also provides a built-in feature for sharing notes in Microsoft Teams. This is powered by OneNote and it's integrated right into Teams. So this shows you how multiple people within the Teams can take note in real time. So this has co-authoring enabled. So if there were multiple people logged in here, you would see or taking notes on different sections. Normally what happens is that different people take notes, they send it to the project manager, and then the project manager would compile the notes. But in this case, everybody would take the notes at the same time in a single application. Then you can also integrate this with Power BI. So if you have any Power BI reports that you want to integrate, for example, this is sales analysis of a certain organization. This is being refreshed daily. So anytime the data gets updated into the ERP system, this will pull in all the data and show you. So you don't have to leave Microsoft Teams to go to some third party site or even a different Microsoft site to get this reporting and visualization tool. You're able to do all of the things that this report has to offer, including filters that you can apply real time. So this is not a screenshot or just a picture of the report. This is real data that is coming in and it's integrated right in here. You have the ability to apply filters and whatnot. Along with that, you can also integrate, if you have Microsoft Project, you can also integrate Microsoft Project in here, and it will show up automatically on your Teams. So let's just wait for it to load. So this is a quick roadmap that we developed, and it shows the tasks that are assigned to different individuals. You also have the ability to integrate with third party, or if you have any business processes that you have running inside your organization, you can integrate directly with those as well. So for example, we have created an expense app, which is created using Microsoft Power Platform that we'll cover in 2 weeks from now in a different series. But this is integrated right into Teams. You don't have to go anywhere to submit your expenses. You could have other processes like employee onboarding, or if you want to offboard employees, or submit your timesheet. All of these routine tasks that you have, you can build apps and workflows that would integrate directly in Teams. And I'll quickly show you how this works as well. So we'll create a expense for a client launch. So now the expense header is created. I have the ability to add a line item, and I can add multiple line items. A cool feature here is that this uses Power App's artificial intelligence feature to automatically read the receipt that you upload. So I'm going to add a receipt. It's going to upload it, and then it's going to automatically figure out what the name of the company for the receipt is, what the total amount is, and when the transaction took place. And while it uploads, it takes a few seconds for it to scan. You see the receipt was from Little Caesars, and the total amount was $12.72. And then I'm just going to change this to 2021. And this is going to go into our food and beverage category. And I can add an expense description. I have the ability to save it or save and add a new item. If I have multiple expense items, I can do that. Now, again, keep in mind that I'm doing this right from Teams. I'm not going to a third-party site. This app would also be available on your phone because Power Apps has an app that would publish, enable this app on your phone as well. So it doesn't matter what device you're on. If you're in desktop, web, you can access this from anywhere. Now, once I'm done and satisfied with everything, I can just hit submit, and it's going to submit for approval. So this is right now showing up as pending, but eventually I should get a notification because I'm the approver in this case as well. I should get a notification shortly for that. So while I'm waiting for the notification, let's start a conversation with our bot. And ask for so I'm asking a status for a specific expense report, and it automatically replied back based on the app that I was just showing you with all of the relevant details. And then I have the ability to talk to it by replying, or I can just click on these cards that make it easy for me to answer the question. So if I say, yes, that answers my questions, it should ask, how would I rate it? So let's say we were satisfied. And then it's asking me if I need help with anything else. Now, these bots are built again using Office 365 Microsoft Virtual Agent. And you can add multiple bots or single bot, however you want to add them. And they could go into Teams. They could also be embedded in SharePoint or public websites. So you can build these apps that work with your internal workflows, business processes, and expose your end users to them. And it's a good way to increase productivity. So you don't have to leave the app. You don't even have to click on any of the tabs, and you're just asking the questions that you need. For example, if I wanted to ask how many orders were shipped yesterday, and if I have an app that has this bot feature, I would be able to ask that question. I can also ask about weather for, let's say, Oshkosh. And it should be able to tell me what the temperature is in Oshkosh right now as we speak. So the bot allows you to do various things. So that was a quick introduction on the bots. Quickly going over some of the other things. You have the one-on-one chat feature that allows you to see who you're working with, where they stand in the organization, and what else is going on. So for example, if I have this individual, I can see what our chat conversation looks like. any of the files that I've shared with that individual, or they have shared with me, all of that stuff would show up here, where they rank in the organization. So we will see the organizational hierarchy and then any activity that we have performed together. You also have the ability to talk to bots in one-to-one chat. So you don't always have to have a bot added to a team. So you can have bots that you have created for your organization, and you can chat with them directly. So for example, this is a bot called Who, and this is developed by Microsoft that allows you to do a couple of things. You can ask who is a person, and it would give you all the information that it has. It can also ask, you can ask questions like, who have I emailed about? And then it will tell you who have you emailed about that particular topic. So there are a couple of scenarios that you can run through with this bot, and it's sort of cool with all the information that Microsoft is able to deliver using Office 365. Going into calendar showed you how you can set up a meeting directly from Teams, but you also have the ability to click on Meet Now and invite anybody you want to meet with. You can also click on a new meeting or schedule a meeting. Microsoft Teams also enables you to do live events like the webinar that we're doing right now. So you can just click live event and you can do a larger live event directly from Microsoft Teams. If you have Microsoft Business Voice, you can actually do make and receive calls directly in Teams. So there's a phone number that gets assigned to you. Anybody who calls that phone number, it will ring both your phone and the Microsoft Teams client. You can do various type of configurations. So if you want your phone to ring at the same time as the Teams, or if you want the call to first go to Microsoft Teams and then ring your cell phone number, it can do all of those things. It has any of the standard features that your enterprise voice solution would have, like hunt groups and multiple queues and auto attendant, and all that sort of stuff is already baked into Microsoft Business Voice. And with partners like SmartIS, you can engage them to help you fine tune exactly what you need. And finally, there's a Files tab that lets you quickly review and see all the files that have been shared with you. So this is not just a file from a specific person or team. This is a list of all the files that have been shared with you, and you can find the ones that you're looking for. The search is really good in Microsoft as well. So if you want to talk to somebody, you just type their name in and they'll show up, and then you can talk to them. If you want to add additional integration, you can click on apps here, and it will take you to the marketplace that Microsoft has published for Teams. You have personal apps where you can do one-to-one chat. You can filter it by bot, so anything that has bot feature enabled. But then you can also find all of the apps that your organization have published for internal use in the build for your organization. So that is pretty much it from my side. I'll hand it back to Hamid to continue with the use case that he has built to show us.
Thank you, Haris. So as Haris mentioned, he gave you the features. Now let me quickly go over a demo or how you can run a project in Microsoft Teams. And I'll give you some, and we'll also one or two apps we'll build together as well, just to see how quickly you can work on those. So on the left side, it's called the left rail. This is more your personal things, your whatever you want to add here. You can add those apps here. So, and then here let me go to Teams, and what I'll notice is I have a couple of teams that I'm part of. So what you'll notice is that if something is bold, like events is bold or recruitment is bold, it means the last time when you came in, now it means there's someone typed something, there's some content there. So this is kind of a visual indicator that you can take a look at it. Some activity happen here. What I would like to focus on is, first of all, take you to the Microsoft, how you run a project. So we'll look at Mark 8 project team. And by the way, you can, if you have a lot of teams here, you can either search for your team as well. You can type in what you're looking for and it will show up there. And also, if you want to bring one team over another, reorder it, you can. Okay, can you see this the teams again?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure where I left off, but we're working on projects. So I am going into a Mark 8 project. That's one of the teams, that project we are working on. And what we have done is there's a couple of channels here, and channels are basically topics, right? So I have a general channel, and in general channel, I have created a project plan. And this project plan is based on Microsoft, the project online. So this is an additional feature service to pay a little bit. But with this one, this is your your regular Microsoft project. So here you can have already entered phases and some tasks in it. I've also assigned people to these different tasks. And what you'll notice is that you have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and this is the grid view. You can change the view to board, let's say. So in board, it shows you Kanban style of the screen. So you have buckets. You can create different buckets, for example, marketing bucket, sales. So these different activities or tasks that you have that may be for marketing related or sales related. And you can also sort it by assigned to as well. If you notice this group by bucket. So there are different views that you can sort and filter and see the data. So we have Megan has these tasks, and all these different assignees tasks will show up here. Then you can also see a timeline view. So you have all these phases, and then it gives you the timeline and the milestone. It's a visual way of doing it, right? So this is Mark 8 project. Now, also, then I have a go-to market plan where I am talking about where things are, and we have a bunch of files here. Contoso, and this is related to the go-to-market plan and everything. Here, what I have utilized the task planner and to-do app. And in the previous channel that I showed you the project, that's your project schedule. But here the task planner, it could be the same task here, or they're more detailed, right? So I have created this task, and it's simple. You can add another one if you want to by clicking on this task by planner, and then it'll ask you which task planner you want to be a part of, and you can do that. So it was just simple click of a button there. But here I have, again, the Kanban style, and I have right now it's grouped by different buckets, like presentation buckets, press bucket, venue, and I can also see, again, same way as I showed you in project online, I can see by assigned to all the tasks. So it's easy for them to see what each person is working on. And there are different filters here. You can see a list view of this, a board view. You can also see charts. So you can see, for example, what's the status? How many are not started? How many are in progress and completed? Bucket by priority. So these are different web parts that you see, and they're automatically, once you start entering the task, it automatically will calculate it for you. And then I will, in here, so what this is a Office, this is a PowerPoint, and this is a tab, and this file exists here. So you have all these files, and if something is important that you want to make it visible to everybody else, you can make them visible. So let's say in this particular case, I want to make this terms of marketing principles, I want to show it to everyone. I want to have a tab. I just go and click and make this as a tab. And now this thing, the file will show up as a tab and everyone can see it. And they can also, if they have rights, they can edit the file as well. And that's where the co-authoring comes in. Multiple people can come in and edit this file. So I would say that we should utilize these tabs, make it more visual the way you want it. And then let me also, while we're here, let's create a issue tracker, right? So we have a plan. I need to create a issue tracker list. What I will do is I'll click on plus. I will create, this is a list web part that's already given to you. You already have it. There's no extra charge for it. You click on it, and then you can click save. And we will create a list. And here it will give you like some samples, like, templates. You want issue tracker, employee onboarding, and what it does is it already has designed some columns based on the template. So I will go for issue tracker. So I'll click on issue tracker. So it will show up like this, with this issue description, priority, status, and sign to. So let me use this template. If you want to name it, how you want to name it, which color you want to choose, I'll pick green, and then issue tracker. So I'll say this is issues. And then I will create it. Again, that's it. It's as simple. If you want, you can now start entering data here. Printer is not working, and cartridge needs to be looked at. And then priority, I will go at low. Status, it's already given. Given to you. You can still further customize it. So this is in progress, and I will assign it to ideal. Because it's all AD, it will show up there. And that's it. So this way you can start adding it. You can put the date as well, but this is how you start building the list here, right? So it's as simple. Now, quickly, I want to show you. So here, when we looked at the project, this has the project details in it. Now, as a leadership team, they may not want to see all the details. They only are concerned about phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So if I have another channel called leadership team, I'll go in here, and here there's a app called Roadmap, which is by Microsoft. You can go in there, and I'll go here, click on General Channel. I'll click on Roadmap. In Roadmap, you can connect multiple projects. And so here I had the Mark 8 project. It will show up here, and it only shows me phases. Up to me what I want to show here. But for them, I only want them to see the milestones, the main items. And also there was another project that I created for HR, for onboarding, employee onboarding. Here they have the phases and the activity there. So I can have list of projects here for the leadership to kind of look at it and see where we stand. So that's the cool feature that we have. So now, lastly, the question comes up is that, okay, now I am in this Mark 8 project, I could be in 3 other projects, but where do I find all my content together in one place? How do I have to go in each channel and find out where my tasks are? So all the tasks that we saw in the task planner, in your left rail here, for that particular per user, this is a task by planner. If I add this app here, this will give me my view. This will give me all my tasks that I've been assigned based on different projects, right? So for Mark 8 project assigned to me, this is the list that I have. These are my work. And also there's an Outlook, you'll notice a to-do list. This also has to-do list part of it as well. So you can see my tasks, you can see tasks, and these tasks are my personal tasks that are in Outlook that I can manage. Plus, I can also see everything here, or if I want to filter it by different plans, I can do that as well. So just wanted to show you this. And now let me quickly go back. We have a few minutes left. Let me quickly review some best practices. Can you see my screen? The PowerPoint?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So quickly talking about best practices and how to get started. So there are two ways of implementing teams. One is by organizational approach. So you go department by department, finance, marketing, sales, and you implement teams. That's one way of doing it. Other way would be cross-functional or cross-organizational. So where you have projects, where you have teams that are working already together, from different departments, they're working together. So you can use those projects, those teams, and bring them on teams first. And this way, it will have more people who know about teams and from different departments, and it will also help break down the silos. One thing to add here is that it all depends on the needs of the organization. So you may choose one way of doing it, or maybe other, or a hybrid approach. So either way you do it, it's a phased approach that has to be that works best. Microsoft also has a service adoption framework, and what it is that the first thing that they recommend is that you go assemble your team first, of your technical team, your business team, your stakeholders, your project sponsors, and you have that group ready. Then you define the strategy and scenarios. And in this case, the main thing is you need to understand what the business goals are, what the vision is, and what vision you have for the teams, how you can solve the problems that the business has that will make it successful. Once you have that, then you go back to your environment. You look at how ready you are, your infrastructure, your technical team, your business users, where do they stand and what needs to happen. So you review that, and then you build a plan, how to start it. And the best thing would be to start with a pilot project, start with a proof of concept, take one department or one group, and then work with them or a few groups together, but start with proof of concept, and then you build it, you help them use it, and then while all this thing is going on, you learn from what you have done, and you can tweak it. And then once it's ready, now you can onboard employees, and you can now run the same cycle again. So you go back again, go to the next pain point, next department, next project, bring them over, and then help them start working on it. So lastly, how to get started. Right away, if you ask me, this is a journey. This is not a one-time thing. So first thing would be to take away would be understand business goals. That's the most important. And understand the pain points of your business. Then pick a few common pain points. And I would say that instead of picking a custom or department-specific problem, pick a problem that is consistent across the organization, right? So pick that one, because this way you have one solution that is good for multiple teams or multiple departments. Third thing would be start slow, but depending on what you want to do, start with the chat first, and then move that chat to a conversation or channel conversations, right? Then the third thing would be that you move to a project and bring it into the teams. And I would say bring entire project into the team. Otherwise, we'll have you may have fragmented effect where some files are in file shares, some things are in Teams, some of the conversation is in email. So bring everything together in one Microsoft Teams, and this way you have transparency as well. And then customize your channels. Channels are topics. Pick whatever you need, how you want to customize it, and then it's an ongoing process. Work with the team, keep them, have training sessions, and work with them. So with that, I'll give it to Jawad and Caitlin, and if any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Amit. So I don't see, there's one question. just comment, thanks. So I don't see any questions and we are almost on time, or at time, so I will thank everybody once again. Hopefully this was helpful and insightful, gives the opportunity to look at what teams can do, and then also at least a starting point to start these projects. And once again, if you have any further follow-up or questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to Caitlin, and then we will make sure that we have the right person get connected with you. So thank you.
Thank you. Take
Thanks,
care.
everyone.